Hold on. I wasn't going to stick around.
I've never been in a shooting contest that I've lost with friends.
What kind of shooting contests you guys
are there people that are better shooters than me? Yes, absolutely. But I'm not a bad shot for someone that's never been trained.
Well, it's just when you put the thing that you had a scope on a pellet gun, that's just that to us. That was kind of funny, you know. But
yeah.
Well, the issue isn't that you're a bad shot; it's that what you're shooting isn't strong enough to hurt an animal that size.
Oh no!
He said he shot it in the eye. He shot it in the eye.
No, it's a pellet gun. That I want to say it's 1,200 feet per second, and there are different pellets that you can put in it that are kill pellets versus I've
put the new link in the back chat and in the main chat of the new stream. You buy that fuck shit? So what happened is we had somebody else pull out a pew pew on stream, so I had to quick ditch that shit like it was on fire.
You were really fast with it. You were hella efficient. That was great.
No, thank you. I've had this happen a few times before.
Yeah, I could tell. And it was flawless too. You were still talking to us in the middle of it and everything. Like, damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember one time we were on, and did the guy do it on purpose? That one guy, I think he did it on purpose. Remember? That one time showed his weapon. It was a toy weapon. Remember, it was toy. It was a toy. I don't remember who the guy was, but it still looked like one.
Oh yeah. No, he did a double whammy. Did he? Yeah, it was a paintball gun, but this is a visual medium. For all effect, I don't care what it shoots. Nobody at YouTube is coming to your house to check the chamber.
And you lose your streams and everything if your shit goes down unless you have like copious amounts of backup. It's just simply not worth it.
Right. So, he did it, and then there was who's that dude? One guy did it intentionally. That mall cop dude.
Well, one thing I do miss, I miss the double barrel that Lindsay gave. I heard everybody talking about it. I was going, she gave a double barrel, and I'm going, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? You know, I wanted the double barrel effect. That had to be nice.
I'm not complaining. I haven't blocked her. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've seen her. Man, that was double barrel. That's all I can call it.
I was surprised because I've had people, threaten shit like that before, but nobody ever makes good on it. So it kind of caught me off guard. Of course, I was sort of ready for it, but I guess I'm pretty quick with these things.
So was that a fun night when she did that, or did you get upset?
I wasn't upset.
Okay, just making sure.
No. Do I seem like the sort of guy who gets upset by boobs?
If you do, you're gay.
All right.
Yeah. If you do, you're gay. I tell you that for sure. I tell you, I miss my river days. God, I miss those. I wish I was rich, because I tell you what, I'd have my boat out there and it'd still be like the river days.
All right. Resto has so kindly contributed and requested the long bomb video.
Oh, my goodness.
Harmon's, you're going to kill Harmon with this.
When you hear the sirens or anti-aircraft guns, you must get under cover at once. Take cover at once, but there's no need to rush. If you take things quietly, you will prevent panic in others. You must not stand staring up at the sky. That's the most dangerous thing to do. If you're within 5 minutes of your home, go home, but keep away from the window. clear for the defense services. For the same reason, park as near to the curb as possible. If you're in the open with no cover, lie down, preferably in a ditch. Never forget to carry your gas mask. Always remember to see that your blackout is as black as soot.
Yeah. So my thought is,
go ahead.
I know it's a long time to sit still. I have ADHD too, but
no, that don't bother me. I'm just thinking that it's just one of those things that desensitizes us to violence and stuff. And I mean, I think it's cool. I love watching things blow up. But why? Why did they taught us to love that shit when
because it's exciting. I mean, there is part of like I absolutely believe there's part of people that likes violence naturally. We're not that different from baboons. Like primates are pretty fucking violent,
brutal,
right? They
are brutal as hell. But yeah, so I'm just saying it just desensitizes. Says I love headbanging. Rose says that. And Rose is the rock and roll metal. Mary Poppins. She's rock and roll Mary Poppins.
Heavy metal. Oh yeah.
Rock and roll Mary Poppins. Even though she's a heavy metal person, I tried to change her music stuff. Oh, Rose just got to going through that that hurricane. Did you guys know that her power was off 17 hours?
I
came
did.
back on today, and this was cute. What she did. This is what Rose did. So she knew going to bed that her garden was going to be destroyed and all this stuff, right? And so she goes out and goes to her garden and tells her garden goodbye for the after night. She's told it goodbye. Then it ended up not destroying her garden. That is such a great story. If you guys know Rose at all.
I do. I know you do. It's a fine story.
I like the story. I thought it was cool. Knowing Rose and her going out, and she's being sincere, saying goodbye to her garden. You know? I like that. I guess I'm the only one sensitive enough to
No. We're all sensitive enough to love that shit. We all love that shit.
I can just picture Rose going out in a wheelchair like that and just talking to some stinking plants. I mean, come on.
Actually, they say that shit does something. They've done studies and stuff. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, music and everything else.
Yeah, rub lotion on their leaves.
He said, Mama Sue Lee says she talks to plants.
Sorry, I fucked shit up.
It's okay. You get one freebie. Okay. And that's an easy. I mean, that's an easy one to fuck up.
Yeah, I was unaware, to quote George W. Bush.
But yeah, you can't on a live stream. You're not allowed now. I wouldn't even have them in the background. You're not allowed to touch them at all in a live stream.
Oh wow!
For obvious reasons, if you think about it.
I mean, it's a break barrel pellet gun. You know what I mean?
The other guy had
YouTube isn't coming to your house to check.
What?
The other guy
had a toy gun. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That a bit wild, even for my liberal ass, if you ask me.
No, it's stupid. It's 100% stupid, but that's their rules. Like Flo said, you got to remember, no matter what, don't get mad. It's their rules. That's just what it is.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to do anything to intentionally get anyone in trouble. That's not how I roll.
Yeah. It's all good. No harm, no foul. I'm quick with the draw. Obviously, it's happened a lot of times before. I do prefer it if I have to crash the stream and start a new one because of boobs, but beggars can't always be choosers.
Yeah, boobs would have been better in that situation. Absolutely.
Maybe not your. You know what? But from you, I would actually probably be fine with the rifle.
Hey, Gary in the chat says Rose is an infectious love bug. Don't like douchebags only don't like Rose. Hey, Gary, just keep Rose out of your mind and your chat.
That's
right
great.
now. I'm talking to her, not you. All right, Gary.
Douchebags only don't like Rose.
Yeah. All right, Gary. Just keep it. Just keep Rose out of your chat.
But did you guys get the story though? Like how?
Oh, we got you now. We totally understood it. We just weren't believing. We thought you were bullshitting.
Oh no! Like my mom's cousin was a Green Beret and in the FBI. He's who taught me how to shoot a gun, and then childhood friends of mine, their parents ran their grandparents' 5,000-acre dairy farm, and if we had a disagreement, we grabbed a 22 and we shot a 20-ounce pop bottle cap, and whoever hit it first won.
So explain to me how any of that shit makes a bullet
makes you a better shot
harder. No, how a bullet makes
shooting a raccoon in the
pellet doesn't have
shooting a raccoon in the face from 30 feet away is not that hard.
I've shot a raccoon from my door with a pellet at the trash cans at the curb. So that's probably whatever a regular smallish size front yard is, right?
Yeah. Well, when you I
unloaded 10 pellets into it. Now, granted, this wasn't one of those, but I did dump 10 pellets into it, and it stopped even looking at me. It didn't give a fuck.
Let me ask you this, Flo. Let me ask you this since you're coming. My friend and one of the wealthy guys that work at the golf course. You're always going to have the real guys who are wealthy, he owns his business, and he goes to Alaska every year, does his hunting and stuff. He has a pellet gun that he had custom made by whoever makes them. Cost $3,200 for this pellet gun. This pellet gun will put a donkey down. How do they do that? What pellet gun would do that? I mean, you know guns, I don't.
I mean, it's a bigger caliber. I don't know what the fuck sort of air pressure he's putting behind it, but if there's a video of that'd be interesting to look at.
You know what? When I see him again, if I go, I'll ask him, hey, can I get a video of it?
Yeah, why did he get such an expensive air rifle made?
Because he has money.
Yeah, I mean, $3,200 for a fucking pellet gun seems
it's not a fucking pellet gun. It's a pellet gun. This is
going to be a bigger caliber than most pellets are. What is it? 0.125. So it's like most pellets are half the size of a AR round.
Yeah, it's not a joke. I've seen him shooting them before, but I just never went and looked at it. You're not supposed to, but we get those damn coots. It's in the lake, and they go on the green and they shit everywhere. So he'll go in the evening time. All you got to do is shoot like 2 or 3 of them, and they'll take off and leave after the rest of that. The rest of them say, I don't want to be this, and they'll leave. And so they'll be leave for a couple months, then you have to do it again. But he goes out there and does it because it's not loud. You know what I'm saying? And so he's not a liar. He has this gun. I just never took my time.
No, I believe it. And there's all sorts of, because I'm a felon, and so people have presented me with a lot of air rifle solutions that at the end of the day, though, you can put a lot of air pressure behind a projectile, but only once. But only once.
Yeah, only once, probably, right?
Right.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder how he's going to do it. We got a real problem with donkeys out here. They're just out everywhere.
Really?
Stuff. Yeah.
I had no idea that was a problem in the world.
Oh, you got donkeys out where you're at? I don't know.
No, I mean, I've never heard of a donkey problem. I've heard of like hog problems or like deer problems or fucking carp problems.
They brought all the donkeys over from Portugal to do the mines out here in Arizona. And then when the train cars came, they released all the donkeys. And I'm telling you, they ate all the food for the turtle. Everything they destroyed. They destroyed everything over here.
Fuck, you're 6'5" and kind of aggressive. Can't you Shrek up and take care of this donkey problem out there?
Yeah, I want to, but you touch one, it's worse than killing a human.
Oh, yeah. Game wardens are nothing to fuck with.
Yeah. So you have to, hopefully,
that doesn't
they'll
make
put
any
more
sense
time in tracking you down if you did it to person.
Wouldn't the game wardens be wanting you to take out the donkeys if they're invasive?
Game wardens are like super.
Yes and no.
They're more interested in catching criminals.
I'm sorry, is that like too much common sense?
No, it is common sense.
Yeah.
And I wish I would hit one, because there's the study said in 1973 this land over here can only withstand 400 donkeys. Well, there's probably 8,000 donkeys out here now. You know, they come into the river, they come onto the lake, and they go onto the golf course.
And I got a pretty big cock.
Let's go donkey hunting. You know,
where I came from, California, down the river. I lived on the same river all my life, Colorado River, going down towards Mexico. We used to make donkey jerky. The guy would sit there and go out and get them and come back and sell donkey jerky.
That's disgusting.
No, why is it disgusting?
It's horse meat, basically. I mean, I've eaten Burger King too, but
if it's smoked right, like, come on now. You know,
see, you guys are ogres. This is what you guys need to go out there and eat the donkeys.
I don't want to eat a donkey just to eat a donkey, but I'm saying if it's smoked right and low and slow style, it's probably you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Right.
You're a different breed of white person than I am.
Oh, come on. Just because it says donkey jerky. It's not like you're eating a dog.
You ever drink that donkey milk?
Have you eaten a dog, Harmon?
I would never do that. I would never.
Yeah, how would you know then? If you haven't eaten a dog, how would you say it's not like eating a dog? Like
my Korean friend told me.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And that's how I'm serious. His name is Bruce Lee. I always have him sign my golf stuff.
That's awesome. You have a Korean friend named Bruce Lee.
Yeah, well, Lee is like 60% of the population in Korea is Lee. They're all named Lee. I mean, meet 10 of them, 7 of them are last name Lee. So it's not that uncommon. And they use Christian first names.
I'm known to stab people and hit them upside the head with shovels and all. I wouldn't normally do that in my normal environment. It's only when I get involved in environments with other people that are violent.
I didn't want to shoot the raccoon, but it was literally eating part of my house.
No, I've done war with raccoons. Raccoons are fucking assholes. When I did war with raccoons, because it kept eating my chickens, I wanted to kill these motherfuckers. I didn't want a live trap because, well, I was pissed. But it turns out I'm bad at shooting bow and arrow.
So tell me how did you do that? How come you didn't pin up your chickens at night?
Listen to this shit. All right. So first of all, just because I was a first-time chicken owner, and we weren't always as good at getting to shut the chicken coop as we thought we would be. Right. That one's on me. The other thing is, so I got all pissed off on my second batch of chickens, right? And I'm done with these chickens, but I can't shoot them with a bow and arrow. I think briefly about just getting a gun for a minute, but I really don't want to get caught as a felon hunting fucking raccoons within city limits, right? Like, this is going to be an all-around disaster. So I quickly nixed that idea. I make some lethal snare traps, catch nothing. Finally cave in and buy one of those live traps, the cages, right?
I don't know.
I'm fucking. I can taste the blood, right? And then I catch the first one, and it looks so pitiful that instead of murdering the motherfucker like I planned on, I put it in the truck, and I wasted a whole night and half a tank of gas driving it 15 fucking miles away into somebody else's neighborhood. And then the next night, I did the same thing with his buddy so that they could be together. I dropped them off at the same neighborhood. It was a complete failure on my part to be vicious and brutal.
Oh, should have put them in a bag and throw them in the river.
That was my plan. I was going to love every minute of it. And then they, like, when I caught the first one, it just kind of like looked at me like it knew it was fucked. Like, I was dancing up to the cage like, ha, 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 ha. And it just kind of looked over like, I'm fucked. Like, God damn it. All right, get in the truck.
I had one raccoon story real quick. My story. I was in Palm Springs in the city going to visit somebody, and I go through the gate, and the trash cans are right there. And they were eating a male and female. So I took a small rock, hand size, and threw it at the female, and she ran away. The male, he was an alpha male. And who said it? Who said that someone said that they're raccoon, they're huge as a big, small dog. I mean, they're huge.
It's like a small bear.
Yeah, he stood up on his hind legs and came at me, and I'm trying to find a rock to throw at him, and I'm on cement. So I yell at it as hard as I can. Because fucking things, my back is, I'm cornered. Oh my gosh. I never knew they were that big. This guy was coming at me. And finally I found a brick and I threw it at him, and he didn't really faze him much. He looked at me, he said, and he just walked away. He didn't never run away. He wasn't going to run from me. So, one more step and I don't know what I would have done. And he came at me. So have you had one come at you like that?
Not like that. No, I had a buddy who, just watched too many YouTube videos or something. And at my house, a couple nights in a row without me noticing, was there was like the one male, right? It wasn't aggressive, but he was giving it beer, and because he wanted to drink beer with the raccoons, and yeah, no, that didn't.
No, that probably had no way to turn out good.
No way at all.
I have a story similar to that. I had friends, so I lived out west of Seattle, and I had friends that lived in Seattle kind of proper, and they would tell this story about coon dog, and I was like, coon dog? What the fuck is coon dog? And they're like, it's a raccoon that's like the size of a pit bull. And I was like, what? And one night we're over partying at their house, and I don't want to say anyone's names, but I played basketball with a chick that was the sister to someone that won a championship in Arizona. And I told her, I was like, hey, they have a trampoline out back. And she sprinted towards the trampoline, ran into the sliding glass door, put a grease print on the sliding glass door, bounced like 5 feet off of it because she was excited about there being a trampoline. And after I left my ass off about that, we went outside, and there's coon dog, the biggest raccoon I've ever seen. I threw a baseball bat at it and hit it, and it turned around and looked at me, and it just kept on fucking walking like it was no big deal. So, like, I don't know. Raccoons, they can be nasty, or they can not be nasty. You know what I mean? Like, you can abuse them, and they might not even give a fuck.
Trust me, they will. Those things.
This is why when you're saying you killed one with a pellet gun, I'm still sitting here going, right.
Well, if you shoot it in the face, like, hey, when you come over for barbecue, I'll let you hunt vermin that are around the house. You know what I mean? And you can test it out for yourself. We don't have raccoons, but we might have a possum or two. But nobody wants to kill the possum or two.
Why not?
I mean?
I feel like, well, yeah, Michelle doesn't approve of that, first of all. And second of all, I feel like I'm not going to agree to doing anything on camera. Right?
No,
it's an air gun. It's an air gun.
Nothing would ever be on camera by any means. But like Michelle said, my wife is very adamant about not killing possums because they eat bugs. They eat bug.
You're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
We can live trap them though.
We can do that.
You can gig them. Go out gigging. You guys gig out there?
I don't know what a gig is.
For frogs, you get a gig. You blind them on one side of the light from that side, and the other guys on the other side of the bank. And the frogs, when you shine the spotlight on them, the bullfrogs, they won't move.
Like I said, y'all are a different breed of white people than me. Go ahead.
And so you gig that's what you type it in, go out gigging. I bet you gigging will come up for frogs.
No, I believe it's a thing.
Gigging is using like a trident spear,
right?
And finding bullfrogs, and then you eat the frog legs.
Oh, you just go straight out with your fondue. You catch them with your fondue fork.
Yes, a giant fondue fork.
Yeah, the pole is at least 6 to 7 foot long.
Okay,
these the ones we use.
Who's gone noodling?
I've heard that one. Is that where you stick your hand in and get the catfish?
It's where you just reach into dark holes without knowing what the fuck's in there, and then hope that you grab something that's good to eat.
I did it kind of once by accident.
Go on.
Okay. I was like 12 or something. Like, I might have been a teenager. I might have been like 13, 14, but I was pretty young. And
how do I send you a picture, Flo, on this on in this chat?
Text me. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, how can I text you on there?
My family is at this like pond area, and we're like there fishing. And I decided that I was tired of fishing off of the dock, and so I decided to walk along the shoreline. And as I was walking, I was hearing frogs like kind of bloop, bloop, bloop into the water. But I didn't think that I was scaring them, and I realized that it wasn't me. It was like a huge catfish, and it was so pretty. And I think it was because it was like one of those rainbow catfish, because it was so many colors. It looked like an oil slick kind of. And it was like kind of surfing on the bank and rustling the frogs. And I had my fishing rod with me, but like it didn't want anything to do with like my bait or anything. It was, fucking with those frogs. And so I decided that I was going to try to grab it. And so as I swiped it, I could feel how sharp it was. And I immediately pulled it back. And so it was like, I almost tried to, but I definitely like touched it. So if I had known what I was doing, I could have grabbed it.
Count it. I'll count it.
Yeah. Like I said, I almost kind of, noodled for catfish. So.
Cam the King tried that shit 2 summers in the river. 2 summers in a row. Not just one time, twice. Got cozy with a snapper. Yep. I mean, you were retarded 2 times in a row. You didn't know until your nephew got bit by a snapping turtle that snapping turtles live in dark holes in the water.
Dude, snappers are no joke.
Hold on, there's snapping turtles and there are alligator snapping turtles.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between snapping turtles. Alligator snapping turtles look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle like hybrids, and they can seriously fuck you up, whereas a normal snapping turtle might pinch off the end of a finger.
I don't know. I think that it's all retarded.
How do I send you a picture, Flo, in this chat? I'm in the chat. Is there something that says I can get into my?
You can't send pictures through. You can't send pictures through the live chat. Do you have my number?
No.
Hold on.
Put it in the live chat there if you want. And then this is, you guys are going to really love this. This is last year what we caught out here. When you were talking about noodling.
You can also get bit by snakes by sticking your hand in a hole trying to noodle. Like copperheads, water moccasins, things like that. So noodling, and you're better off setting up like a line with catfish bait on it and milk jugs than actually noodling.
Harmon, I just sent you my number on a Cash App back.
Oh, on Cash App? Okay, let me find it that way.
I want the survivors of the MGTOW wars to come and tell me about the traumas.
What does MGTOW stand for?
Men going their own way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's except they don't, right? Like the irony is that if a man was truly going their own way, they wouldn't brand themselves with a label that is entirely centered on their relationship to women, right? They just like, I don't label myself as somebody who doesn't believe in Pegasus. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not looking for flying pigs. But by labeling yourself MGTOW, it's just every bit as much simping as just being a straight up simp. It's just in denial. It's simp denial.
Sounds lonely. I mean, unless there's a bunch of dude bros that want to hang out with you.
No, it's bitter. It's just bitter.
Yeah, it totally sounds bitter as fuck, you know? Men going their own way. Oh, okay, I'm a 35-year-old male. I've had no success at dating. Maybe my standards are too high, and I'm going full off the grid now. That's what MGTOW sounds like to me.
Yeah, it's a tap out or something. I don't know what it is. Pussy's on the pedestal. Well, who is Rusty Rivers? MGTOW is pre-gay.
Rusty Rivers sounds like somebody that has done quite a bit of noodling.
Y'all are weird. Okay. Maybe, you know what, on that note, why don't we just wrap this up? The thing I started watching hours ago. Probably nobody's still here as anybody who saw this earlier. But I want to see how Grid 1's phenomenal meltdown continues.
Oh, yeah, this. I was interested in seeing this.
Publicly, and his biggest point and his point of contention is that Glenn is lying about the whole thing. She's just throwing Josie under the bus. He's trying to separate himself from the drama. He's being dishonest, and that there were weird things that he did that he is completely complicit in, that he has taken no responsibility for.
Well, if you're outside somewhere saying I'm looking in the window, and then you move the camera for the building that you said you were looking at to be behind you, that's toxic.
Do you see that, Flo?
But he's alleging. So Easy watched the stream, okay?
And yeah, man. What the actual fuck is this? Is that you?
That's my friend who caught the catfish last year, and that's what was inside of it, a beaver.
That's pretty fucking gross.
Can you show it?
Yeah, I'll give me a second to get it off my phone and onto the here. But yeah, I'll show it in a second.
Yeah, he had to go out and try to grab it in because he couldn't bring it in any farther. They use the deep sea fishing boat for these
looking
catfish.
At him, and over his shoulder, in the background, is the studio, the whatever studio, right? Like the logo, et cetera, that Glenn is deliberately streaming his face and is demonstrating his proximity to the studio.
He said, "Guys, we're outside. We want to come. We want to come up. We need your help. Talk to the people inside."
And while he was saying that, Josie's camera was panning over.
He said in front of a landmark. He said, "I'm 100 feet away." Do you disagree with that part?
I didn't hear him say he was 100 feet away.
He did. There's
so
a couple
he
videos
admits
you probably
that,
haven't
and
seen, Grid.
Brian at least says it also. I know Glenn. I think he admits that also.
They were sitting across the street at the burrito joint, and
I understand.
I
know. I know exactly where they were.
And Josie's camera panned around, caught the studio.
And if Glenn, but here's the thing: if Brian doesn't have a problem with it, and Glenn doesn't have a problem with Brian, And Andrew doesn't have a problem with either.
Which is so weird, by the way. Okay, if I'm Andrew Wilson, I'm like, ugh, like, get me out of this. Don't even mention me.
Right.
I don't even know these people. Who is Grid One? I don't know the guy. Glenn Lawrence, never heard of him. If that's me, if I'm Andrew right now, okay. But you're pulling him into this really gross situation at this moment.
I
in
lost
time.
a lot of respect for Andrew once I saw him on the whatever podcast.
In the wide scheme of things, I wasn't going to, but since you brought him up, Grid One, I guess I'll factor him in here and make considerations to what this means for his platform.
Who the fuck are you to have a problem with it?
Okay, wait, hold up. I don't. Where's
And while he was saying that, Josie's camera was panning over.
He said in front of a landmark. He said I'm 100 feet away. Do you disagree with that part?
I didn't hear him say he was 100 feet away.
He did. There's
so
a couple
he
videos
admits
you probably
that,
haven't seen,
and
Grid.
Brian at least says it also. I know Glenn. I think he admits that also.
They were sitting across the street at the burrito joint, and
I understand. I know.
I
know exactly where they were.
And Josie's camera panned around, caught the studio.
And if Glenn, but here's the thing: if Brian doesn't have a problem with it, and Glenn doesn't have a problem with Brian, and Andrew doesn't have a problem with either.
Which is so weird, by the way. Okay, if I'm Andrew Wilson, I'm like, ugh, like, get me out of this. Don't even mention me. I don't even know these people. Who is Grid One? I don't know the guy. Glenn Lawrence, never heard of him. If that's me, if I'm Andrew right now, okay? But you're pulling him into this really gross situation at this moment in time, which, you know, I guess now I'll consider him in the wide scheme of things. I wasn't going to, but since you brought him up, Grid One, I guess I'll factor him in here and make considerations to what this means for his platform.
Who the fuck are you to have a problem with?
Okay, wait, hold up. I don't. Where's
I'm asking questions and asking what is it wrong.
We're jumping all over the place. Hold up, we're jumping all over. I don't know where Andrew just.
Francis is growing on me.
Is this live, Flo?
No, this is from earlier.
Grid One Motorboats. Welcome.
This is from earlier, like within the last 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Doing all of this shit just to have easy lie in my face is crazy. Oh my god. Grid One Motorboats. Look, I didn't expect you coming to the stream. Is this your off account? Are you like a distant relative? Are you related to Grid One? Regardless, happy to have you. Really, really confused by some of the decisions you've made on the stream today. But let me line those out for you. And then if you want to come on and sweep for Glenn Lawrence, you should. You should. Okay. Hit that Discord link in the chat. Thank you.
He doesn't have a problem with it. Brian definitely sounded like he had a problem with it.
He didn't say Glenn's name. Do you know why? Because he wasn't mad at Glenn. He was mad at Josie.
Or maybe he didn't know which guy was with Glenn or which guy was with him.
You know, Carpenter, I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. But that I'm throwing you in the chokey for 1 minute for that comment. Like I said, I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. But that shit was wild. Okay.
He said the guy and the girl were doxing him, right? Like he said Josie and the guy that she's with.
He said Josie was doxing because Josie was out front recording two girls.
No, that's another lie. Actually,
yeah, that's another
because
lie. Actually,
Glenn is the one who initiated that interview with the kids of somebody that was on the podcast.
Okay.
Hey,
so,
Flo,
remember when I pointed out to you earlier
that
there is a
like
mention that Josie brings up about there being kids involved across the street watching the stream.
Yes, 1 second.
Lindsay said she likes to catch bass. You know what, Lindsay? We use bass for bait. This is what we catch with bass for bait.
Oh my god, I logged out everything. Hold on.
All right.
Lake fish ain't shit compared to salmon, halibut, and cod.
Wait until you see this. This guy's 6'1" tall that you're gonna see. You're gonna get a kick out of this. Darn! Oh darn!
Niv breaks down this stuff like really well, in my opinion.
Say that again.
Nev breaks
Neve.
down.
It's
breaks
Neve.
down. Breaks down this stuff really well, in my opinion.
What breaks down what they're talking about?
Yes.
I didn't. It to me, it comes white noise. I don't even listen to that. That's for you young guys.
I enjoy her deconstructing a debate.
I like that guy. He debates a lot. I can't remember his name on his channel. He's not a Channelverse guy. I can't think of his name right now.
I've only seen
Mind Shock. Have you heard of Mind Shock?
No, I have not.
Yeah, he breaks down debates. Really, he counts fallacies. He's totally non-biased or whatever. He doesn't take. He just counts fallacies. How many fallacies one person gets? Logical fallacies and stuff like that, and he breaks it down.
Most people don't even understand what actual debates are, how they're supposed to be
scored, how they're scored, and they're done by logical fallacies.
Yes. Well, it's not also done by logical fallacies, but it's also like if you're in a real debate, you have to present in writing or now digital your points to the moderators, and they're allowed to fact check you, and they are allowed to call you out on your bullshit facts because they can look up your fact stuff. So like the last presidential debate was with the moderators. That might have been one of the better moderating things I've seen in my lifetime, as far as them actually doing their job. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about this debate shit, is you have to have an unbiased, which that can be rung into question, an unbiased moderator or moderators that can fact check what you're saying and then call you out on your bullshit.
I'm not even gonna agree. Yeah, I'm not gonna agree with you at all. You can't find in those debates. You're not gonna find unbiased moderators. You're just not. They're all gonna have a side, and it just that and if you can't see that when one side was in favor of another side, then it's not.
Holy fuck! That was a pain in the ass. Observe the catfish.
All right.
Here, I'll zoom in.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but
no, look at that. No, don't worry about that. Look at that.
No, that's a giant catfish.
Right. And look what it ate. Are you going to show them what it ate or not?
No, I didn't even send that to myself.
Fuck.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, they cut it open. There was a beaver inside of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really gross.
It's not gross. My
it's
God.
Really gross.
Oh my God.
Like a whole ass beaver?
It's like digested, half digested guts and shit.
Hey, cleaning a fish. Have you never cleaned a fish?
Yeah, I've cleaned a fish.
Have I never cleaned a fish? Sir, I'm glad that you asked. Perfect setup. For me, cleaning a tuna when I was like 18 that I caught in the ocean.
So did butterflies come out of it when you cleaned it?
No, but neither did dead wet rats.
Or beavers.
Or beaver. People don't believe me when I tell I ate a beaver.
If you want to see the half digested gut beaver, I don't know, Send me a Cash App with your email or something, and I'll send it right over to you.
You're cruel. You are cruel. Oh, you're cleaning a salmon. That looks store bought to me.
That is not a salmon. That's a tuna. And hell yeah, it looks store bought.
You know, you're not cleaning no tuna.
Well, that's a little bit bigger than what Costco sells.
Yeah, but I mean, did you gut it?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I caught it.
So you're lying. I'm saying I can see that you're just filleting it.
No, I did gut it. So the people that I was staying with, his wife was Japanese, and so she actually made it into like fresh sushi. But she did like the finalizations or whatever the fuck it is, you know.
So how fresh was that tuna?
Like hours fresh.
Oh, really? And so where were you at in this picture?
San Diego.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense. Not in Collingwood. Wow, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, because you're not gonna, if that tuna is that fresh, you're not gonna cut it and you're not gonna make sushi out of it. But you're right there on the ocean and you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we took it back to their house. My dad's from LA, and so I was staying with one of his high school friends and his wife. It's also when that was the same trip I went surfing. And
Lindsay was asking, did I eat it? Yeah, I ate it. And the thing about those catfish, those type of catfish, Lindsay, they all eat live bait. Anything they eat is live. So their skin is just like what Flo was showing with the tuna. Their meat is just like that, just as pink and just as good. So, but that tuna that Flo had, it had to taste 100 times better. Did you cook any of it, or was it all raw? Flo?
I don't
remember.
I'm sure that we cooked some of it because like it was a big fucking tuna. But I think like tartar or whatever.
Yeah, like steak tartar. Yeah.
Right.
Did you now tell me about the ocean? I didn't ever heard about you trying to go surfing or anything. What happened?
Oh yeah, when I was I don't know how old I was there. Some point in high school, I went because, like I said, my dad's from LA, and I flew out and stayed. He's got a friend who still lived in San Diego from high school who designed surfboards for a living, and so I spent a week and went out and stayed with them and learned to surf and went deep sea fishing, and it was dope.
You actually got up within a week on the surfboard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Within like 3 days, but they're just little baby waves.
No, I understand. Yeah. No, just standing up on one period. I don't care if there's no waves. Sheesh, are you kidding me? I've tried when I was young. I tried, I don't know, 100 times. I gave up. I couldn't get up. That's impressive.
Well, I'm a little bit smaller than you, so that probably helped.
No, coordination is the word. You're a little bit more coordinated than me.
I'm pretty coordinated.
Yeah, there you go. That is impressive because I've watched people. Like I said, I just came back from a week from being on the beach of San Onofre, and I just sat there and watched the surfers. I'm going, how do they do that? One thing you don't see on the beach at a surfing beach where it's just surfing. This is all just surfers. No picnics or staying on there and stuff because it's all rocks and stuff. You don't see any fat surfers. All those people were skinny as hell.
Except I'm for sure Hear Me Out is over in the chat trying to claim that he got up the first time. Hear me out. We're talking about surfing, not about inner tubes.
Are you kidding? I had it on day one. Oh, is he Hear Me Out? Is he a big time? The only ones I've seen do that is guys who are big time skateboarders. If you're a skateboarder,
I don't know.
You can do it.
And I've that coral ain't no fucking joke. I've still got a scar. It's not a big scar, but I still got one on my foot from that shit. I just like barely touched it.
Coral. I had a coral. So I was in the Mediterranean Sea, snorkeling, going down, and underneath, about 5 feet underneath the water, there was a coral bridge, a little coral bridge, and I swim underneath it, and I saw a little baby octopus down there. I said, that's cool. So I went back up to get air because I watch movies and I watch these nature things. They go down there and pick these things up and play with them and do all this stuff. So I go get my air, come back down, and I go underneath and I go to pick up this little baby octopus. You know what? Anything wild does not want touched. That thing came at me, jumped at me. I screamed underwater. My back hit the coral bridge. I'm bleeding like crazy. I get down on the beach and I'm laying down. And my friends goes, what happened? I said, a baby octopus beat me up. I tell you. But now you know what I found out, Flo? Those guys, when they go to Puget Sound and stuff and mess with those octopus,
they're drugged.
They put sedative dye in the water. Those things are so drugged when they go out there to handle them.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were doing that. Then I found out in all these nature programs, over half the animals in the water and stuff, when they're going out into them, they're all drugged. They're all been given sedations. So, yeah.
South Florida's oceans are good. South Florida's, Snowfire says South Florida's oceans are the best. I would have to agree. South, like on the Gulf side.
On the Gulf side?
Yes. South Florida's fresh water is freaky as fuck, though.
Is it warm or is it refreshing?
The oceans on the Gulf side are awesome to swim in. The fresh water is full of like fucking alligators and water moccasins and shit. Fuck that.
Wow. I'm talking about the ocean though. Yeah, I'm talking about the ocean.
No, yeah, the ocean is great.
Because I've never been there far. The only thing, I went to Panama once, went out fishing, and we're out in the Ponga boat, and I decided to jump in the water.
Oh no, I've been all up and down the Florida, the western coast.
Yeah, the one down Panama, it's like bath water. It's not even refreshing. Going down south, so I was going to say Florida, it's still refreshing then.
Pensacola, fucking, where is it? Oh my God, it's an island that just got wiped out.
Like recently?
Yeah, Santa. It'll come back to me. But
Pensacola, there's Lindsay bringing up her alligators.
I got married on Clearwater Beach.
Oh, you've been in Florida a lot then?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Wow, that's cool. I've never gone down there.
We almost moved to after I got married, I almost took a job in Miami, but decided not to, which was a good call.
And those Cubans would have got you with all that drug shit.
I would have been able to fly under the radar there.
Yeah, you probably would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It was a small town shift that I was not ready for.
You see Lindsay talking about her alligators again. If you remember about 7 or 8 months ago, she's talking about how nice alligators are and they won't hurt you or do anything like that. Yeah, right. She's in there, and then so someone tells her in the thing, Snowfire tells her alligators is delicious. They're delicious. I'm sure Lindsay won't like that. You remember her alligator stories, Flo?
Not really, I don't think.
Yeah, she had some alligator stories, and I told her bullshit. They're evil and need to be made boots out of. You know, I would love to have alligator skin boots. I really would. I think that'd be so cool.
Where the fuck did that go? Hold on, I'm looking at maps. I got it. This is gonna kill me if I don't figure out where the fuck
You know where that island is?
Yeah, and it's just because it's late. My brain's tired. That.
So Michelle, have you been to Florida, Michelle? I think I forgot her name.
No, I haven't.
No, you've never been to Florida?
No,
How about you?
Never seen the ocean.
You've never seen the ocean?
No.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, it's not uncommon. It's just uncommon to find someone like that, something like that. Mm-hmm. So you never even seen the ocean. Okay.
No.
I've never been on that side of the ocean. Everything I've ever done is on the Pacific side, so I am extremely biased when it comes.
Have you seen the ocean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been out on the most west or most northwestern part of the United States.
In Washington?
Sanibel.
Yep.
Sanibel Island. That's
Santa
it.
what?
Right? Sanibel. It's right outside of Fort Myers.
Yeah, that's real famous. No wonder you forgot it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. So what about that? You've been there before? Is that where you got married?
Well, a bunch of times. No, I got married in Clearwater Beach. My ex-wife, when I first met my ex-wife, she and her best friend were poolside waitresses at the Hard Rock in Tampa. And so when we got married a few years later, her best friend was still living in Tampa with her family, and so it was kind of a solution.
A get together again. Yeah, for nobody
Right.
traveling, you all travel to them.
Right. We went down there, got married on Clearwater Beach, did that whole thing. And then got divorced in Kansas.
Yeah, I got married in Turkey. So it's not something I'm going to go back and see again. That's a long ways away.
Yeah. Sanibel's dope. It got hit by hurricanes last year, I guess, last hurricane season. And they killed the parrots at the grocery store. Can you believe that, Mama Sue?
Who killed them?
The hurricane.
Oh, okay. Are there really in Florida a lot of the small parrots and stuff that's flying around that people have released through the time?
I don't think so, no. The grocery store there on Sanibel Island, it had kind of like a lobby area outside. There's a few little shops there, but they had parrots in cages there that got rocked. Which, you know what? I'm sure those parrots are happier off dead than they are sitting in like a small little bird cage in the middle of a shopping area.
Yeah, I heard people released a bunch in Florida, and they were like when I was in Panama, there were parrots everywhere. So it's not like that in Florida now?
I don't recall parrots everywhere. Oh, yeah, that was an expensive swimming suit. Yeah, nothing is cheap on that island. But it's worth it.
It sounds pretty, that's for sure. And the water's really clear down there, isn't it?
It is clear. It's warm. Yeah, it's basically perfect.
Have you seen those drone shots they take lately on the beaches where they're looking down in the water?
Oh, yeah, the overhead ones where it's super clear.
Yeah, and then you can see every one of them have at least 5 or 6 sharks swimming around out there, and people don't see them.
For some reason, alligators and crocodiles freak the fuck out of me, but sharks don't. I'm not sure why.
Well, alligators and what?
Like freshwater predators freak me out. Saltwater predators don't. I think it's because I feel like if a shark's going to attack me, they're efficient enough to get the job done fucking right. And that if an alligator or a crocodile attacks me, it might just rip an arm or a leg off. You feel me?
Yeah, they're
I
you're
feel
right.
like a shark would do the same thing as an alligator.
Well, alligators take their prey. They don't always kill them. They drown them. They take them and put them under the ground, water, and tie them down.
Yeah, but
that's what they do, from what I've been told.
if a shark bites your leg off and now you can't swim, it's kind of the same death. Not really, but similar.
Well, put it this way. I'm a coward. I do not go in the ocean anymore. I haven't gone in the ocean since I was 17. I just don't want to be part of the food chain. And then living in Florida, that's why I've never really wanted to go Florida, never gone. Because I feel when you enter Florida in that area, you're part of the food chain again. On land,
Yeah. No, I feel you 100%.
I'll tell you right now, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to be in Florida.
Yeah.
and in any part of the ocean.
When I was a kid, we lived in Houston, Texas, and we went camping in the state park. And my dad's teasing alligators with a rope and a piece of wood on a dock, and they're coming up out of the water trying to snatch that piece of wood or
bait on it. Probably had some kind of bait.
Yeah, exactly. It might have had some chicken or something on it. You know what I mean? But I was like, why are we camping where alligators can just roam through the campground? Like, that doesn't seem...
When you hear the sirens or anti-aircraft guns, you must get under cover at once. If you're in the open with no cover, lie down. The most important rule of all is never to stand staring at the sky. If you don't take cover, you may get hurt.
All right, just hear me out. I appreciate the big 50 spot. And this is everybody's trigger warning before I pull up this disgusting, revolting photo and put it on the big screen as the good.
Oh, someone paid for it. Good.
Yep. He did. All right, this is your last chance. Who the fuck? All right, here we go. Blech.
Open it up.
It's there. It's open.
As big as it gets.
Picture that you can smell.
That's a beaver, guys, inside of it.
Have we had a good look?
Hey, $50 is until that guy says okay.
I'm waiting until I hear from Just Hear Me Out. Just Hear Me Out. Are you satisfied with this look? All right, and we're done. If you've been closing your eyes, you can return now. So, to get this to myself, I I sent the pictures in a Facebook message. So that I could get on my Facebook and then just pop open that chat. And I used Barbie's a thread with Barbie. She hasn't seen me yet. Should I just leave all this shit there?
Hey, Rose says Ken Wheeler makes alligator stuff, skin stuff.
What about the actual photo? That was the actual photo.
Who asked that?
Hear me out. It's not making any sense.
No more Cash App, he said. He's not doing it.
He's just being withholding. He'll come
How
around.
about the actual photo? What was wrong with that photo? I don't know. Anyway, Rose, I know who Ken Wheeler is very well. I'm going to get a
photo of what? For pic and email put on screen. Oh, you sent me a picture.
Oh, good. We got the beaver guts.
Right. Okay. God damn it. God fucking damn it.
I love it. Way to go. Hear me out. That is awesome. And Rose, I know who Ken Wheeler is, and I will be getting a hold of him and see if he can make some boots. If he does that stuff.
God damn, look at this little guy. All right, just hear me out, but you got to come. You got to put your face. You got to do it before and after, or before and now. Come on up here, big guy.
I'm glad you got to show the beaver.
I can't believe that I fucking did that.
Hey, it's a Freudian slip. You really wanted to.
Maybe I did.
Who said it? Lindsay says, "Rest in peace, Mr. Beaver." She is a nut. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. And she probably means it.
It's fucked up because my name's Dick Beavers and my dad's name is Philip.
Philip Beaver and Dick Beaver?
Yes, sir.
That's why you say "oh darn"?
No. my YouTube handle used to be "oh darn shit the bed," and then my wife realized it was attached to my email, and maybe I shouldn't send those emails to my kid's school.
Dude, I hate it when you realize shit like that.
So she shortened it for me to just oh darn instead of oh darn I shit the bed.
Hey, Rose, if you're still listening, you comment earlier. Did you hear where I told them about where you said goodbye to your garden? I told them that earlier. And then it survived.
It was fucking adorable.
Yeah, she didn't respond. I don't think she heard it.
Well, the rest of
she's
us
probably
heard it, and
doing
our
4
hearts
things
were
at a
touched.
time right now. She's probably got 4 of the streams going.
Probably.
You guys want to know about Rose on this channel? She came here one day, met Rose one day. I mean, Flo. And Flo gave her a wrench within the first hour.
I knew who she was already.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Wow.
Well, it made the story better with my story.
It did. I'm sorry to steal that thunder out of there. Yeah, no, I knew who she was.
Remember, we got to
there,
know her real well when she did that roasting of Jack, and she said she did it innocently.
Fantastic.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great. All right. Let's see. Where is this? I'm gonna do it like this. Because one of you fucking creeps will be trying to zoom in and read my emails in the background if I don't. This is just hear me out. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that fine young man.
He's the surfer dude, huh?
Boy, he gained some weight in a fucking beard. Where you at, you hairy monster?
Yeah, first try, bro.
No, hold on.
Or not first try. First
Is
date.
that a fine young man or a
This is the same person.
It's not that
This
hard.
is
There he is
why you don't.
Surfboard. How'd you not
This
get up
is
on
why
a
you don't
surfboard?
do fentanyl.
No, what I like to caption that photo is like my first beer, and then juxtaposition it with my current.
Without being too doxy, how old were you there, and how old are you now? Like, what's the spread we're looking at?
Let me see. I was. Let's see.
Let me guess.
No,
you
I wasn't-
were 17 right there, maybe
20.
16. Oh, you were 20, and now you're 86.
No,
I'm just teasing. Now you are 49.
No.
How old are you?
42.
Oh, 42.
The golf flashlight makes my eyes look puffy.
Born in 82, the same as my daughter. So you can call me dad too.
No. I'm about to be 83, so I was born 81.
You're like blonde.
Yeah, he
like you have gray hair. Or do you just go from like blonde to white?
No,
Yeah,
blonde
that's
hair
basically
usually
it.
stays. You got gray hair in there. You just don't see it.
It's on the side, but it's creeping in.
Yeah, but usually blonde hair just stays that way. You just can't see it. You see that guy? You see Trump kind of look young and all that shit? And I said, my God, this guy's got issues.
Can I turn this light off? No, it's blinding me. I can't.
You can do whatever you like, sir.
Well, your eyes are blinding us. They're so blue.
Reagan babies are kind of the worst.
Master
So
race.
what?
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off. Flo, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining, and I'll drop a link in the chat. Everybody, check her panel or her channel out.
Oh, no. Check out Raging Tomato. Please don't follow me. Please don't find me. Leave me alone.
Follow Raging Tomato.
Yes, please.
I've got some homework to do about whatever she's got coming up.
Yeah.
No, but
She sent me a text, and I going, man, I was out of it for 3 days. I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I want to Raging Tomatoes once. Oh, go ahead.
You should be able to get on the same page really quick, but I'm gonna sign off. Have a good night, guys.
I went over Indian Tomatoes once about
You're right.
6 months ago, 7 months ago, and she had like 1,000, just over 1,000 subs or something like that. I said, hey, by the end of the year, you should have 3,000 subs. And she was like, what? I go, it's hard to get these subs. She goes, I expect to have way more than that. So the other day when she did that little intro with the comedy commercial she did, I thought that was quite funny. So the first time I texted her back, since all this time, I said, hey, I told her, I said, you're going to get 3. I said, now you might get 5,000 by the end of the year. I don't know. She's come a long ways. She's doing good.
She's good. If she doesn't get stuck in a niche, she could do better than all of us.
Yeah, she's really got the little special touch. That little touch of that commercial thing she did. Was that the first one she did? She haven't been following her a lot. Is that the first time she's done one? Or
I didn't see the last one.
It was really good. And I said, wow. I said, you keep this up and you get that going, you'll get 5,000 subs by the end of the year. You know, that's what I'm thinking. I hope she does. All right, Flo, let me stay on. Thank you. And nice meeting you, O'Darn. And hear me out. That was impressive. So you guys take care.
I mean, many people attribute my face today to be the rampant use of whiskey, but that's an indirect correlation. The whiskey.
I thought that you were taller than you are.
The whiskey
for whatever
use
reason.
comes from a rampant exposure to fucking morons. I just can't do it anymore.
It comes from an office job.
Well, no, really, COVID is what, I mean, it really ramped up before COVID, right? But once COVID hit, and then I was like, I don't have to go and have to see you people anymore. It just like, it was like scar tissue, right? Like, I can't fucking deal with you anymore. You're done. I can just hang up on
you can't quit us. Look, the chaos is addictive. We all know it. Embrace it. This is a chaotic year.
Were you in the office?
Yeah, I'm an accountant. I was in the office forever, but once I got out of the office, and then I was able to just hang up on them or not answer their calls, that's when it really hardened my heart towards the rest of humanity. I don't need you anymore. I don't need to deal with any of this anymore. It's over.
Oh, okay. I just guessing by your looks and the way you present with the beach and all this stuff, I would think a guy like you would never have a job inside an office. I just would think that.
I'm a fucking accountant.
You're an accountant?
Yeah.
Well, you sure can't judge a book by its cover, can you?
Nope.
Hey, I was a banker for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Flo and I are kindred spirits on that end of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
They look at us and they're like, "No way you were a banker. No way you were an accountant." We're like,
you said you're not into it. You said you're not into his rectum. What did you say, rectum?
He said, "There's no way that I'm a banker." In all fairness,
spectrum, not rectum. I thought he said rectum.
Nobody who knew me as a banker thought that I was a normal banker, and nobody who knew me as a criminal thought I was a normal criminal. Everybody thought there was something up,
right?
And they were all right.
When you were inside for that 18 months or whatever, how long you were, what did the inmates think when you told them you used to be a banker? I mean, that had to be like, what?
I didn't tell them.
Oh, you didn't? They probably
well,
not
you
at first. Have been in a federal prison.
When I got to jail the first time, people, you go into General Pop and people are like, "What are you here for?" And I said, "Drugs," and that was it. And then I just kept to myself. But my reputation had gotten bigger than I could manage, and people there knew who I was without me having to say so. And so there was a couple guys, over the next few days, one of the guys was like, "Hey, I know who you are." I was like, "Oh yeah?" Like, "Yeah, I had my girlfriend look you up. I know who you are." Like that sort of shit. I'm like, "Ooh, cool."
Oh, like that's
you're on the inside of something that the cops are on the inside of now. So good job, buddy. But no,
I can picture that being an inmate doing that, thinking he's trying to impress you with his knowledge.
Thinking he's got something. Yeah, no, I already had a reputation. It was a small enough county, and I had outgrown my reputation. So if people figured out who I was, but I didn't try to lead with it, right?
So hear me out. So you guys are kindred. So how much jail time did you do?
1 day.
Well, one day. You've done 1.5 days at DUI?
Yeah.
Yeah, those suck. How much did it totally cost you after court case, everything? How much it? My friends cost $12,000.
I'd estimate probably about like 9,000 or 10,000.
Yeah, my friend was $12,000. It's just a racket. You got to go through with all that money.
Wait. I want to make it clear. I'm glad I got the DUI. I would have never stopped. Wait,
Shut
hold
the
on.
fuck
Flow
up.
state, stop. No, I would have never stopped. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't kill anyone, so I'm glad I got it because I would have never stopped doing it.
How over the limit were you?
I was a .187.
And how impaired is that?
That's way impaired.
Well, here's where it gets into the. Here's where I had a problem with the system, right? Because you could give a 9-year-old a beer at .02 and they're fucking wasted, right? But if I'm used to drinking all the time and I'm taking Adderall, I'm well in control of my faculties, right?
So you're a functioning drunk.
Yeah.
What he's doing is he's taking amphetamines to balance out the alcohol.
Yeah, right. I didn't even know that at the time that you don't puke when you take Adderall, right? So, I mean, it just was a thing, right? So the whole reason I drifted over the line that they picked me up for, because I exited the express lanes on the double yellow before the toll thing, right? So that's how he got me, right? It's because I was fucking with the bag on the side of my seat, trying to grab my phone to change the YouTube thing, right? I saw him right, and I was like, oh, fuck, right? But I'm glad I got pulled over. But the problem is drunk driving is subjective, right? With an objective scale, right?
Which don't mix.
Yeah, because somebody could feel like they're in control, right? So it's a subjective decision to drive because if you've only had one beer, then theoretically you can drive, right? But if you can't control your vehicle, then you could still be arrested for DUI. Versus somebody who's like a raging alcoholic, like 0.3 or something, could be totally or almost normal, right?
Well, I've never had a DUI, and so I don't have a good measure for how fucked up a 1.8 or 0.18 is.
Well, the average person 1.8, you'd be passed out. The average person.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was up. It was high. It was high. I got charged.
I met so many people who have that fucking Stockholm syndrome. They're like, I'm so glad that my life is ruined by law enforcement because I would have ruined it with drugs otherwise. It's like, you fucking cucks.
No, my life wasn't ruined though by getting the DUI. The only issue I had was there was like, for me, the first night getting arrested, that 8 hours I spent in the county jail, King County, which fucking sucked, right? As soon as I was in there, I was reformed, right? I'm like, I'm never fucking doing this again, right? The problem I had was they waited 14 months to arraign me, right? So I had finished all of my classes, all of my pre-sentencing agreements. I had finished the blow and go requirement for the state and had it removed, but they waited 14 months to arraign me, and then once they arraigned me, they're like, we want them on ankle monitor or what's the scram device or something, right?
Well, why would they do that so late and so much later?
Because Washington, hold on, dudes in Washington State. Washington State is more progressive with their DUI laws than.
Oh, he's from Washington State?
Yeah.
The rest of the country. And I went through the same thing. I did deferred prosecution, which meant I had to go to treatment for 2 years.
So anyways, hear me out was in the middle of a story before you started your story.
Well, no, I'll let him finish after this, but I mean, I want to hear what he said. But like on the day of my arraignment, right, I wasn't the first case up. The first 4 cases were like, dude was caught driving without the intoxilock on his car and caught driving, and it was like his third offense, et cetera, all these things, right? And then I get up there, and the prosecution basically does nothing, and then I get up there and they're like, we want a scram device, we want ankle monitor, GPS, and my lawyer's like, if he's such a danger, Why did you wait 14 months to indict him or to arraign him? Right? He has finished everything. Right? And so the judge is like, yeah, we're not doing that. But Washington State has a minimum 1-day jail sentence. What I think would have been better, right, and more productive for society, right, is all the radio advertisements say, hey, if you get a DUI, it can cost you up to a year in jail and up to $10,000, right? Well, that's not really describing it. They should say like it's a minimum of $9,000, right?
You're such a normie. Hold on, I gotta play Harmon's favorite thing for Cam. Go ahead.
It's going to cost you a minimum because when you hear that, you're like, well, I don't have a criminal record, right? So it's not going to be that bad, right? And then laws change over time. I would have rather done like 20 school speeches, right, than a day in jail. And I think that would have been better. Saying, hey, this is going to cost you a bunch of fucking shit. It doesn't matter.
You wouldn't have paid attention.
You're sober. No, I'm just saying.
You getting pulled over for DUI didn't stop you from doing that. You stopped you. It had nothing to do with them. You might have used an excuse, but you just decided yourself you're done.
No.
The link's right there. It's literally right there. One click away.
Come on, Cam. Bring your old cranky ass up here and tell us about hard time.
No, I'm just saying I feel like there should be alternatives that could be better suited for the community, right?
There's no money in it. No money in it.
Dude, I went through the same thing you went through, and I have never, well, I don't want that, never, but drinking and driving, no. And that shit, you're right. It costs $9,000-$10,000 to go through their system. What I would say is don't ever start dating your drug and alcohol counselor's daughter, because that's what I did.
I flirted my ass off with my corrections officer.
Yeah, and I dated my drug and alcohol counselor's daughter. And don't get me wrong, when I met her, I was like, man, I bet you were a lot of fun back in the day. And then a year into a 2-year program, because that's what deferred prosecution is, it's $10,000 and 2 years of treatment. I started dating her daughter, and she was an awful lot of fun until she wasn't, you know?
Oh, darn.
Yeah, I didn't get offered that, but I mean, the other side note, Flow State is, I got popped. We lived, our apartment was next to a bar.
Hold on. Oh, darn. CN15, thank you to the anonymous donor. I appreciate the support. And oh, darn, appreciates 15 minutes backstage. Go ahead.
Our apartment literally overlooked the parking lot of this pub, right? It was called J Pub, Juanita Pub. So I was just going there as you go down there, get a few beers, walk up back to the apartment. For a very lengthy story that I will not go into, I was not staying at the apartment that night, so I drove to my brother's house, which was down probably a 10-minute drive, right? And I got pulled over about a tenth of a mile from the house, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But I still let it happen because I don't do it at all. I don't even risk it. Like,
yeah, you've internalized the process. You've showed remorse. You have
but I mean it, Flow State.
I know they love you. You're a fantastic example of shining reform out of the court systems.
No, I'm not shining reform. I was reformed in jail. The court had nothing to do with refining me. Just getting arrested.
The 1 day in jail?
No. The first 7 hours I was arrested.
You soft.
I fucking hate it.
You're talking to a retired prison guard right here.
No, we talked about Netflix and shit. I got a lot of people onto some different shows in there. but just I was like the last in because it was late in King County, so I had no place. I was sitting on the floor, right? I didn't have a bench spot. I didn't have any idea what a DUI meant, right? You just like all that stuff that goes through your mind, like what the fuck is going to happen. And then my brother didn't pick up his phone when I was getting called for like.
Can you give us the age this happened to you at?
This was 10 years ago.
So 32?
Yeah. 33. Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering how innocent you were.
No, I wasn't innocent. I'm just saying.
No, you were innocent as far as in what you're telling us the story about your time in 7 hours in jail. I apologize, but
it's fine. It's fine. The worst fucking part was I couldn't get anyone on the phone. It was a Friday night, and then the lady said, "You got to give me," because I gave out all these numbers to my friends and everything. Right? She's like, "You give me one more number. If they don't pick up, you're staying in for the weekend." I was like, "God damn it!" And I gave him my parents' number because I know they pick up, right?
I mean, you heard my shit about when I got a hold of the bails, when I finally got charges and bond, and I called the bails bondswoman. And she said, and I said, I need bonded out. She goes, okay, what's your bond? I said, $100,000. And she goes, oh, sweetie. And yeah, that's when I read, yeah, I guess I hadn't really, I was just happy to have a bond at this point. So I just call her, like, whatever, this is her job. Why the fuck would I have a bond that's too high for the bails bondswoman to meet? I got no priors, but
they
can set it whatever they want to set it at. That's great.
They told me my bond was $300, and I said, sweet, I have that. And then they're like, and I was like, can I go, where's the ATM? And they're like, there's no ATM here. I was like, well, I think I actually have it in my jacket. Can I get the jacket? And then she's like, listen, you're not getting out while you're drunk anyway. Give me a name. I was like, fuck. And so my parents showed up the next morning, and I got in their stupid, it was like 8 a.m. Right? And I'm just like, they start, chattling at me, and I'm like, I don't need to hear any of it.
Did you get any prison tattoos while you were in?
I don't need to hear a single goddamn word that is going to convince me anymore that this was the worst thing to ever happen. And
look, my bunk was right by the blind spot. I watched a lot of tattoos happening. I could give you both our first tattoo. I was one of the best ones at getting staples into the cell to use for needles. Imagine that skill.
I take it back. When I was telling you that 7 hours or something like that, you stayed in jail. I believe you now from listening to your story that it I guess we're scared straight.
I wasn't drinking water out of the toilet. I was sitting there all fucking thirsty. The chatter, because I got in there around 2:30, right? So I was in there with the drug lords, or not the drug lords, the guys that were picked up for drugs, right? So they were hopped up. Right, and it was right after.
Hey Flo, this guy, hear me out. I guarantee you, his eyes are big as saucers.
Looper had just come out. We were talking about Looper, and I was like, "You got to go fucking see this movie, man. It's fucking great. He looks exactly like Bruce Willis."
You would have been so much fun to have as the new guy and
the entertainment.
right. He's exactly the sort of person that when you hear the doors ka-ching and a new guy walks in, it's like, yeah.
It reminds me of the first time I walked across Corcoran State Prison Yard, right? I'm thinking I'm cool, I'm going to do it. And rookie, and I guess I was walking 10 miles an hour, but I didn't realize it. So I had the COs come over. Hey, walk. Come here. I go out here. Slow down. Every inmate is laughing at me. All the 500-600 are out there. They're just laughing because they know you're new. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. They weren't laughing at me. They're like, I got to re-up my Netflix.
No, I was a prison guard, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I got you.
For 23 years. And so I'm just saying it's the same thing. I was walking onto so these inmates that you're in the cell with, I guarantee you they could see your eyes were big as saucers. I guarantee you that.
I told them that was the first time
you weren't in there long enough to take a shit. That's a bummer. because
he didn't take his shit in front of everybody.
I mean, I guarantee he was in there for.
Did you piss? Did you take a piss?
Hear me out.
I don't think I had to actually.
Or you have to sit down on the toilet and take a shit while everybody's looking at you.
No, I mean I've always. Well, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second.
This is a funny story flowing away.
It is funny.
Sorry, I had to get ice in the house. No, I've actually had a tremendous bladder and constitution for the entire. I didn't. Funny enough, you believe me or not, I never wet the bed once as a kid.
But
you never wet the bed once. When
I was a kid, forever. Like I never wet the bed, and my mom.
When you were 1 year old or 2 year old, you never wet the bed.
Never. I mean, once you're out of diapers, right?
But you did in jail.
My mom would get so pissed because I wouldn't go to the bathroom. I'd be like, I don't gotta go. And
yeah, but you were drunk and had alcohol in you. How are you not going to go piss?
No, I'm saying if I need to hold it, I can hold it. That's why I didn't go to the bathroom in jail.
I took my pants all the way off and I threw my hands in there and I spun around in circles as fast as I could while pissing.
No, you didn't.
I didn't actually do that. No,
and you get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the benches were taken up by what seemed to be elderly. I'll call them international inmates. And then there was just the one dude I was chatting with was like, I think he was probably like a street prostitute or something. But he was convinced at the end when I told him about all the shows. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking getting Netflix when I'm out of here. I'm like, yeah.
So, great. Flo, was that the first time you had to take a crap in front of men like that?
Let's see. I think so.
What was bad?
No, when I was a kid at Boy Scout camp, they had like,
there you go.
Yeah, that.
When I was in the military, it was the hardest thing. That's the first time I had to do it. We had out in training, we're out in the field, and so they had this outhouse that was all one big outhouse, and it had at least 12 toilets in the line, but they're just separated by, if you put your elbow out, you're touching the guy next to you. And so you got, the whole platoon has 10 minutes to take their shit and brush your teeth or whatever. It was so hard. So many, you know how hard that would be for never to do that?
I don't think I could do that.
But you do. When everybody else is doing the thing about the military, you're not the only one. Everybody's doing it too. That's the key to the military. You're not the only one doing it. So everybody else is doing it. So you do it. That's, I think, how they do it. If you're doing it on a solar thing, you couldn't do it. You're right. So yeah, they fuck with you in the military like nothing. But I thought it was a joke because my dad used to beat my ass, and I thought the military was easy.
Well, that sucks. My dad beat me.
Yeah, it was just, well, when I say beat, I mean.
No, I mean, my mom spanked me the shit out of me, but my dad never hit me. But
my dad used to choose the limb off the tree. If it's not big enough for a switch, then I'll go pick my own. So you had to make sure you got one just right. That he didn't want to go out there and get his own. Yeah, that was it. But I'm not mad at him.
I know. I get it.
I wasn't mad or nothing. He just was an asshole.
So my mom spanked, right? Well, I mean, she was stressed out with her child that would never go to the bathroom or whatever, right? But she would spank us, right? But here's the thing that I thought was funny later growing up, right? She would spank us with this spatula. Like a
spoon. I was gonna say they always use a spoon or something,
right?
Like a big old wooden spoon, so that she's using a spatula on you.
Because my mom, they're frugal or whatever, right? She still has that spatula, and so when we go over there for Christmas and stuff, and she's making breakfast and serving pancakes, she's using the spatula. I'm like, that's the one he used to spank us
Yeah, my ex-wife, she still has the wooden spoon she'd hit the boys with. They're twins. And they just laugh at her. Why would you hit us with that spoon? Did you ever get spanked like that, Flo?
No.
By your mom?
No. Not with any weapons.
Yeah, most of the ones I've been around, they always use a spoon or a spatula. That's their favorite weapon.
Yeah, I mean, the spatula is like, it's like an easy choice, right? Hey, this has got a lot of surface area. It's light. I can get some airspeed on it.
Yeah, CJ looks like he's been hit with a spatula or two by his mom.
Or a 2 by
last night, actually. Yeah, it happened last night.
Say that again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your volume is fine. Your audio quality is low. I don't know what that's. I have no.
I got it on my Bluetooth. I'll
that's
mess
why.
with it.
So what happened to your forehead?
Oh, I was going to ask face, but you're more specific.
Okay. Do you hear me better now?
It's still kind of shitty, but we can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What happened to your face?
I climbed in my window last night, and I hit my head on the toilet. Long story short.
At least you didn't go inside of it, did you?
No, in the toilet? No, luckily I just hit the rim. It probably would have been better if I went in it, actually.
Well, that's 2 things I've never done. So, kudos to you.
Were you drunk?
Yeah. No, I wasn't drunk.
What?
It's a long story.
I mean, it'd be better if you were drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Actually, it would be better if it was just a drunk story.
Sneaking in the house. You were sneaking back into the house so your wife wouldn't catch you. I'm just teasing.
No, I live by myself. I was sneaking in my own house because there's a I don't know if it's a mortgage company or if it's just some random person that changes the locks on people's houses or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But my locks were changed, so I climbed in my window and unscrewed their bullshit locks, and I'm going this morning to get my own locks for my house. So I'm sure that's there's gonna be more questions now.
Well, I'm just saying, so your day just got worse by falling into a toilet. You can't end the day worse than that.
I came home from the gym last night, yeah, and realized that somebody had changed the fucking locks on my house.
Have you investigated?
I've noticed a lot of my shit was moved. I know that they came in here. I'm not super comfortable about it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't have any proof to prove that they moved shit. Clearly the locks are changed, but
well, if they did that, they have the right. So aren't they going to kick you out? Aren't they going to kick you out?
Yeah, they will kick me out eventually, but they got to send the cops to do that, or at least evict me or something, right?
Flo knows a little bit about that.
They can't just break into my goddamn house. That seems awfully illegal.
I mean, you would have to be notified. You'd know if you were missing payments, right?
You're in your parents' house?
No, this is actually my grandpa's house, but he's dead now, and he had sons that considered him a drunk who never came down here to visit him, who are taking it from me.
So who do you?
So it's a family thing.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
That sucks. Yeah,
who do you owe rent
it
to?
always happens.
Who do you owe rent to?
He really doesn't owe much to anybody. They're taking it over because his grandpa died, and they want the house and don't think he belongs there.
Right. Long story short, he got it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very common story.
I wanted to pay.
You go in there and take care of the grandparent, take care of him, and take care of him. No one else cares about him. No one comes down and visits him. You do all this stuff, and then when he dies, they want to reap the rewards.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, I've seen that story so many times.
Yeah. Well, that's happening to me right now. I think I'm gonna booby trap my house. Maybe I can get them to lose an arm next time they come in here.
You think it was your relatives who did it?
I have no idea who it is. I think it was the dude at the end of my street down here because me and him kind of have a beef, and he's he's in that business. So
I've been into those True Detectives and all those stories they have on YouTube. It's getting real popular. Am I gonna be able to find yours on there soon?
No, I hope not. I hope not.
I'm teasing with you.
I hope not. But I'm not just leaving, so I don't know who they're trying to scare or whatever. But
it can't be someone legally doing it, or you would have got in. It has to be like when you say change locks, the way you did it. I'm thinking of realtor locks that they put this fancy locks on it. They just actually changed the locks.
Well, no, there was one of those little keypad things with the key in it. I cut it off and I have it in my car. Right. Yeah, I have it in my car right now. I was hoping maybe somehow I could show that to the cops and maybe they could figure out who did it. But I do know they put something on my door like 2 months ago saying they were wanting to sell the house, and I told them I was going to get a lawyer. And that is the only time I've been notified of anything is the little sticky thing on the door. So I do have a line of someone to contact as far as who could be responsible for it. But I'm pretty sure you can't just like show up and change my goddamn locks.
I mean, I'm nobody. I have no things. I didn't graduate high school. I tell you, but you call the cops, then it's never your business anymore. It's theirs, and you have no say of anything. That's all I'm telling you. Once you get them involved, it's the end of story. That's my experience.
Well, I haven't called them yet.
I'm just telling you, once you do that, it's over. Am I saying that kind of right, Flo? You think? Once they're involved.
I mean, once you start that ball rolling, it rolls out of your power.
Right. You don't have no more say. That's why you have no more say.
Right. But I mean, in that regard, I don't know enough about the whole situation. I think the first thing I do is make sure that you've got mail going there.
I definitely have mail going here.
Right.
And it's been coming here for 10 years. I mean,
and I'd buy some trail cams.
Yeah, trail cams is a good idea. I was going to go get actual cameras today and new locks and shit. And then maybe booby trap something.
Are there neighbors close by? Are you like in a neighborhood? Are you 100 yards from anybody or what?
Yeah, I tried to yell at one of them across the fence over here. This, I don't know if it was a dude or what. He had a hoodie on, but he was like blatantly ignoring me when I asked him if he saw any people in my yard yesterday. So I don't know how attached to it he is, but I was getting louder and louder until he couldn't ignore me, and he was.
Well, that's why you're going to lose. You're being a douchebag. For real. It's politics.
He's lived there for 10 years, Flo.
Oh, you've lived there for 10 years. I missed that part.
Yeah, he's lived there for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived there and take care of his grandpa. That's how the story started.
Why I'm going to lose.
Never mind. I missed that part.
I probably am gonna lose, but I don't think I was disrespectful to them. They were disrespectful to me. They just came to my shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You took care of your grandpa for the last 10 years of his life, basically.
I mean, here's the thing: the cops don't give a fuck to solve crime, so they're just gonna do whatever's easiest. You know that, so you've got to solve the crime for them ahead of time. So you got to catch the person doing it, and have packaged evidence. And if you can demonstrate that they cost you financial damages, that's even better. Document everything. I don't know if you have phone conversations with them, but depending on where you're at, I mean, I would do it anyways. I would download a call recorder on my phone, and figure out if you're a 2-party or 1-party recording state. I would set up cameras for sure. I would check and see if your neighbors have Ring cameras.
Yeah,
and even in the absence, if you don't have cameras yet, like you've got old electronics, you can charge up an old cell phone and prop it up in the corner recording. They make free apps that let you turn cell phones.
I was just thinking that last night. Mm-hmm. These fuckers took the RAM out of my computer. I have to buy RAM
Now that
for my
is
fucking
fucking
computer now.
garbage. But
Just the RAM.
RAM is extremely fucking cheap. So
Right, and especially this kind, but it's just like just so that it wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Why would they take? I've never heard
Wait,
that
wait,
before.
hold on, human or harm.
Because it was easy. The case was already off, and it was easy to grab. I'm assuming. I didn't even notice anything.
DDR3? What is it?
I think it's 3. I think it's 3. This is an older computer.
Jesus. How old is your computer?
It might be 4. I don't remember when they switched.
What
I don't know.
processor do you have?
It's like an old i5. It's like an i5 2500K or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's probably DDR3.
Yeah, I thought that was it.
But actually, that's probably more expensive at this point since it's rare. It's not like manufactured anymore because we're on DDR5 now.
I gotta go get cameras and door locks today. So
Did they pull
you can go to
outlets?
any old computer repair
Have they
shop.
pulled any
They'll have
outlets
it.
out of the wall? Look at your outlets and see if any of the outlets have been pulled out. Like, because that almost sounds like somebody's looking for scrap.
All my outlets.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put the lock on there, would they, Flo?
There's a couple of my outlets that are already pulled out, like that have been that way for years.
But there's no like wire missing.
No,
You know, people coming in taking copper wire for money and stuff. He's saying,
Right.
No, I don't.
Because I don't know why you would take RAM off an old ass computer unless it's for scrap, right?
I think it's
RAM isn't.
So that it wouldn't work. Is my thought.
How hard did you hit that fucking toilet?
Pretty hard.
Jeez, you seem confused. I feel bad for you.
Nah, I just didn't sleep much last night.
And I don't know what kind of locks you have if you've ever fucked around with bump keys or Slim Jims or anything like that, but you might get to little tools. Something that's kind of a good idea that I don't do anymore, but I used to take pictures of all my keys so that I have my phone. So if I got locked out of a car or something, I knew what shape to cut metal into, right? Things like that.
Well, I was thinking last night is like, do I call the cops? Because at this point, I don't have a key to my own fucking house. No, I had a key to the building.
Well, the key isn't how they're going to establish whether or not you're supposed to be there.
So I should have called them then.
I don't know what your plan is.
I don't really. I'm making it up as I go.
Yeah, I don't know who you think is fucking with you.
Well, it's clearly somebody associated with the real estate company that wants my house.
I don't know that that's clear. It could be a family member. It could be an angry neighbor. It could be an angry ex. Like it could be. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody from a real estate company getting paid enough on such thin prospects that they're going to break into a house.
Okay, well maybe.
I don't think
it definitely could be an angry neighbor. That's reasonable. I do.
You've got angry neighbors. You've got family relatives. You've got actual people who have legal right to the house. But I don't know.
They're in New Jersey though, so they would have had to come down here. Like those guys are in New Jersey, the ones that are getting out or that are his blood relatives. So.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it sounds like it's probably them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably hired a neighbor or some shit to come change the locks.
Yeah.
Is what they probably did. Or a locksmith.
That's what the angry neighbor does for a living too.
Hmm. Yeah, you're going to have to engage those people because they're the source of your problems. Definitely the locksmith knows what's up. For sure, he probably did it.
That dude over there was talking to me. And I heard him screaming at somebody. Sorry.
Throw up a no trespassing sign. You have tenants' rights at least.
Will do.
And then try to play nice with the people who have legal right to it if you want to get the house out from them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the advice, man.
Yeah. Schmooze them long enough to get what you want. Everybody, everything that you want, somebody has. You just need to figure out how to convince them to get it, give it to you.
There's an angle.
Huh. My mom taught me a lot of base things.
Where did Arn go? I thought he was coming back.
No. He did it. It's actually pretty late for Harmon. I'm surprised he stayed on this long. I'm surprised I've stayed on this long. All y'all are wild. Cam the King won't come up here. He just grumbles from the chat. All right, I'm tired. I'm looking for a place to send all you motherfuckers. Talk your shit. What do you guys got?
No, I also agree this is very boring, so I'm gonna be leaving.
Well, sorry I ruined it.
No, you didn't ruin it at all. I've been going for.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. You did ruin it. This is actually all your fault.
I do that.
Good night. Good night. Hear me out, sweet prince, with your weird cat avatar and your big cash apps.
Hey, at least I didn't take my hat.
I still think the Ram thing is weird.
I think it's a spite thing. I seriously think it's a spite thing.
What else is missing?
I didn't notice anything missing except they rummaged through all my shit. Like they were looking for something. Like I don't know what, but like there's a box I've been hopping over every day. I hang upside down with these inversion boots, and I hop over it at least 2 or 3 times a week, not every day. But this box is pushed out of the way. The reason I know this is because I've been stepping over it every single morning for like 2 months and haven't moved it. And the box is fucking pushed out of the way, and the papers are all everywhere. And it's
they're
like
looking for papers.
It's my grandpa's old shit, is what it is.
That's good. That means that they don't actually have a very solid legal standing. What they did is illegal. So I would definitely try to make getting cameras set up a priority so that you can catch them. Ones with motion sensors that alert you on your phone, which can actually be just any fuck. Where'd it go? I can just show you. So they make these basic Ring cameras. This one they got an infrared light on the front, so we taped it up and stashed it somewhere. But you can get a 2-pack of these. I don't know. It was like $100 for a 2-pack 3 years ago. Kind of a little model. They got everything you need. Batteries last a long time. Phone notifications. You can set zones right on the motion sensor. You can have audio sensing. You can get the monthly subscription and have it record things automatically. So it just auto records everything to the cloud. But I would say that
need the. Sorry, dude.
No. That's go ahead.
The notifications on the phone is all I was gonna say.
They want your paperwork. They probably already got whatever paperwork they could find that was useful.
Yeah.
They might also be hoping to find like drugs or something, because if they can report you for a crime, then that's just as easy to get rid of you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would clean anything out that might be laying around, maybe from back in the day. Make sure your house is spick and span. Not that I think it'll go to this level, but sometimes it does. And Yeah. All right. I'm getting distracted by myself. And possession is 9/10. Remember that.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me that I talked to about this whole thing. I didn't realize they were going to take it this far, but apparently they are. So.
Well, they got no reason not to. If they're living in Jersey and they've got access to a piece of property, and they're going to try to have the locksmith do that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
the locks are laying in the front yard, so.
You might pick those up. Those might be evidence. You could play hardball with the locksmith and just tell him you got him on camera and see. I mean, I don't know the kind of guy he is. That's a judgment call if you want to play these games with that kind of person.
Well, if it's the dude in the street, I'm not worried about him. But if it's gangster, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm dealing with here.
Well, if it's a gangster, you won't even know who to ask, will you? It'll be the locksmith. If they're not local, they're going to call the local locksmith.
Yeah.
And locksmiths are all kind of skeezy people. They're not. I don't know what it is. There's a type of personality that gets into locksmithing, and they're snaky.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just want to know what's in everybody's shit.
Yeah, they sneak around, but you might learn. You might check into some of the tools. It might be useful. All right. Anybody in the chat that I've neglected that needs to address anything with me, with CJ here, before I send you off to your next destination? Snowfire. I'm pissed that you come rushing in all dramatic and shit about the MGTOW guys and then go ahead to not explain it at all. That's pretty lame of you. If you're still down there. All right, going.
Here's the thing, bucko. Like, I tried to read, there's an old book by Bernays. Most of you know the name. And I picked it up, and it said, it's called Crystallizing Social Opinion, I believe. And it's like, I wanted to open it and read it, but the word crystallize sent me into a deep desire to smoke again. It's like all I read was meth. It's like crystal meth, public opinion. It's like I could